The 106th minute. A World Cup final hanging by a single thread. A substitute, a man who had been sitting on the bench an hour earlier, takes one touch inside the box and swings his boot. 80,000 people stop breathing. And the finest goalkeeper of the entire tournament, a man who had already made history that night, dives the wrong way. To understand how it came to this, how the defending champions were slowly strangled on the biggest stage in the world, we have to go back to the beginning. July 19th, 2026. MetLife Stadium, just outside New York City. 80,000 fans in the seats, and roughly 1.5 billion people watching around the world. On one side stood Argentina, the defending champions in their sky blue and white stripes, with Lionel Messi chasing one last, impossible chapter. On the other stood Spain, in all red, young, ruthless, and playing a brand of football that doesn't so much beat you as quietly take all the air out of the room. This was the match the entire planet had waited for years for, and almost nobody expected what actually happened. From the first whistle, Spain didn't attack Argentina. They smothered them. By halftime, they had held the ball 64% of the time and completed 9 out of every 10 passes they attempted. At the heart of it stood Rodri, in Spain's red, moving like a metronome, closing every gap before it could open. Argentina's whole game had always run through one man, Messi, dropping deep, finding a pocket of space, bending the match to his will. But the space never came. Every time he turned, 2 red shirts were already waiting. Spain weren't marking Messi. They were erasing him. Consider this one number. By halftime, the defending world champions had not managed a single shot on target. Not one. An entire half of a World Cup final, and their most dangerous weapons had barely touched the ball in anger. Argentina were reduced to defending, to chasing, to hoping. Their whole tournament had been built on Messi's genius and a wall of belief. Now the genius was being switched off, one patient pass at a time. And yet, somehow, they were still alive because of one man in the other goal. Emiliano Martínez, Argentina's goalkeeper, was playing the game of his life. Save after save after save. A fingertip here, a strong wrist there. His whole body flung across the line when Spain looked certain to score. By the end of the night, he would make 11 saves, the most any goalkeeper has ever made in a World Cup final. For as long as he kept them out, Argentina had a puncher's chance. All they needed was one moment, one last flash of the old magic. 90 minutes came and went. Still 0-0. The final crawled into extra time. 30 more minutes. Legs turning to concrete. Both teams one mistake away from disaster. This is the part of a final where composure wins trophies and panic throws them away. And it was here, deep into extra time, that Argentina finally made the mistake that would define the entire night. The 106th minute. Enzo Fernández, one of Argentina's engines in midfield, lunged into a reckless challenge on Pau Cubarsí, a teenager Spain had trusted at the back all tournament long. He had already been booked once. The referee reached into his pocket, and this time the card was red. Argentina, already drowning under Spain's possession, were suddenly down to 10 men in a World Cup final. And they never got the chance to steady themselves, because in almost the same breath, Spain struck. From that very passage of play, the ball broke to Ferran Torres, a substitute, sent on for exactly this kind of moment. Inside the box, close range, half a yard of space. He did not hesitate. He struck it low and hard, and even Martínez, flawless all night, could not keep this one out. 1-0. In the 106th minute, against 10 men, Spain had finally cracked the safe. And you could feel it ripple through the stadium. This one was not coming back. To their enormous credit, Argentina refused to lie down. But the numbers tell the whole brutal story. Their first real shot of the entire match did not arrive until the 117th minute, a late effort from Messi, blocked before it could ever threaten. Across 120 minutes of a World Cup final, the champions failed to register a single shot on target. Spain had not simply beaten them. They had suffocated them. When the final whistle blew, Spain were world champions for the second time, their first since 2010. Their coach, Luis de la Fuente, at 65 years old, became the oldest manager ever to win the World Cup. Rodri, the man who had quietly conducted the whole final, was named the best player of the tournament. Spain had conceded just one goal across the entire competition. 8 matches, 1 single goal, a level of control that borders on the absurd. And with their women's team already holding their own world crown, Spain became the first nation ever to hold both the men's and women's World Cups at the very same time. And Messi? He finished the tournament with 8 goals, just short of the Golden Boot, chasing a fairy tale ending that, this time, simply refused to arrive. He walked off the MetLife turf a legend still, but a beaten one, on a night when the game's newest machine proved too cold, too patient, too complete to break. Football is a story of eras. On this July night in New York, in front of 1.5 billion people, one era quietly ended, and another one began. If you want to know how Spain built a team this ruthless, that is a story for next time.